Here to present to you the first ever WebRTC watch. I got my Pebble here. It says WebRTC, right? You see it? Well, it does. Okay. So I can speak into it, and nothing comes out. Pebble doesn't have a microphone. Never mind. It's a watch face, though. It says WebRTC. Anyway. Contact center is my topic. I come from a company called Aspect Software. We've been around for 40 years. We do call centers, contact centers. We equip them with software. We actually equip companies with software to help them, to make it easier for them to engage with their customers. That's kind of our mission statement. So contact center is the world I come from. Been in this world for like 11 years now. I've been following WebRTC for a while, maybe 2 years now. We started product efforts maybe a year ago. And I'm also very close with Dan Burnett, who is one of the 4 authors of WebRTC. He's actually an Aspect colleague. So he's on the W3C. I just recorded an interview with him about the latest and greatest from the standards world. I'm going to put that on our blog on the Aspect sites if you're interested. He always has great insight because he has the finger on the, well, he is the pulse. All right. Okay, so I have a Prezi. Is Prezi still cool, or has it ever been? I don't know. I've only done like 2 or 3 Prezis in my life, but I think it's kind of cool. So in the call center, we call it contact center now. Who is from that industry? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Who can spell ACD or IVR? Same people, right? Good. So that's good because it's a big space, and WebRTC is a big topic in that space. So what are the implications of in-page access to live help? Because that's what it boils down to. In the contact center world, there's kind of the 2 sides. There's the customer that has a problem or a question, and then there's an answer somewhere. And the point of the contact center is to connect the customer to someone who can find the answer or present the answer to you. Now, more and more, as you can imagine, as you know from your daily lives as consumers, you go out and Google and find the answer yourself, right? You only need to talk to someone at the call center if you really haven't, have exploited everything else. You really haven't found the answer yet. You want to talk to someone. You want that someone maybe to explain something to you, how things work, how our business process works in that company. That's when you reach out. So the phone call, becomes more and more kind of the last resort of what you do. You don't want to talk to a rep. You don't want to be online, on the phone for like 10, 20, 30 minutes trying to get to someone, right? And what I'm going to say, I'm going to present is kind of, I'm going to walk you through, I shouldn't do this, hello? What WebRTC means and how it changes the paradigm, really, of getting in touch with an agent in the contact center. So customer and then agent, and let's start with the customer. The customer has tons of channels now available to communicate, right? And they pop up like almost like mushrooms, almost like monthly. Snapchat, WhatsApp, Viber, WeChat, Skype, Facebook Messenger, you name it. SMS, still alive. USSD, RCS join. It doesn't end. Oh, phone call. Yes, phone call as well. Okay. Mobile apps are also a way to engage with a company, but more from a self-service perspective. So if you look at how customers are pretty much connected 24 hours a day these days, right? So there's this analyst firm called Forrester. They coined this term, always addressable customer, someone who has 3 or more internet-connected devices. When I go on business travel, I usually have 4. I have my iPhone. Let me start in the size. iPhone, Kindle, iPad mini, laptop. That's usually what I pack for travel. Connects multiple times per day from multiple physical locations. In 2014, they say 49% of U.S. adults qualify. Who in here qualifies? Everyone, right? We're not a representative audience. The point, though, is they're always addressable. That means something for companies because they also want to maybe market to their customers. They also want to maybe communicate to their customers more and more proactively. Now, great. What does that mean? Well, ubiquitous connectivity affects tolerance for slow and inconvenient customer service. You get more and more frustrated, more and more annoyed when companies serve you badly. They're slow, they take ages to respond. You send out a tweet, 3 days later they care to respond. And what we're seeing in the industry is that customer experience is more and more kind of a crucial distinguishing factor to be competitive, which is great for consumers. But if you think about how customers get live help today, it's insane. Let me walk you through that process, and you could probably all relate. So we usually start with self-service on the web, on mobile, try to find the answer to our problem ourselves. If we can't do, we go to peer-to-peer, we go to social networks, maybe ask friends. Ultimately, we try to connect to the company. What do we think when we think, okay, I need to talk to someone? We're thinking, I need to pick up a phone and dial a number, right? That's still the reality today. So where do you find the phone number? On the company's website. So you Google, you're on a computer, you're Googling their website, you go to their website. Now probably in the top right corner you find their phone number. You find it, and then you have to leave the website again, pull out your phone, dial the number, right? You might even have tried stuff on their website. Maybe you've browsed a little, maybe you logged in, FAQ sites, whatever, customer portals. Then they make you leave the website again, pick up a phone, and dial. And then you're sent to an IVR, interactive voice response, which tries to find out why you're calling, and then routes you to the right agent, ultimately, or answers your questions if it's a good IVR. Now, that is incredibly dumb. The phone call, if you think about it, and this is not an idea I had, it's something I read as a tweet from, I think, Martin Geddes, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's one of the independent consultants. He said the phone call is really the dumbest channel on a smartphone, because all a phone call can do is submit audio data, period. You can't exchange, images or forms or show what you're seeing or do anything else but talk and listen. It's what we've been doing for like 150 years, ever since the phone got invented. It's insane. So you're taking the customer away from the mobile app or from the website, and you're forcing them to this dumb channel, and that's dumb, and it's disrespectful. Because you're making them go through an effort, you're making them repeat stuff that you could just as fine have gotten from the website, collected from the app, passed through to the contact center. Now, how does WebRTC fix this? Let's think through the story. You're starting self-service, browsing the web, using the mobile app. Then, instead of just listing a phone number, the number becomes clickable, or you have a button that says, engage with us now. You click it, and you get connected. You might have wait time that gets taken care of through some FAQs. They might be sent to a different site. You might be watching a video, right? You get creative to keep the caller's attention, the user's attention, no longer a caller, and connect them to the agent. Submit every context you have from what they've been doing on the website, right? Make it such that the agent gets a screen pop when the call comes in. To them, it's still a phone call, because they also get phone calls over the normal telephone network. But they get a pop-up of, okay, this person is just currently on this website, on this subpage. They've been clicking here. They might have been logged in, so we know their customer record. We pull it up from the CRM, right? We have all this information. That's how you should do it. Where's the catch? There is none. Not for the customer, anyway. So let's switch perspectives, jump over to the agent. The agent in the contact center sits there, hopefully in front of what we call a blended environment, or we now call it omni-channel environment, where all the channels that come into the contact center, whether it's web chat, phone calls, video calls, we'll see a live example later with Chris, or maybe an SMS dialogue. They're all bundled. They can manage these dialogues through one central interface. Now, the contact center have an increasingly dispersed workforce, meaning they want to support work-at-home agents, right? It's something that makes them actually more agile. They can find local talent maybe in areas that they don't have a call center in. It's not enough to provide technology just for one-to-one connections, okay? So if you're in the contact center space, or if you're thinking about, oh, this would be great, I can put a button on the website of my company, and they can click it, and they can talk. Well, guess what? You might not be the only one that clicks the button at the current time, right? There might be other customers clicking at the same time. So now you're getting into queuing and routing, right? And that's the essence of what call center and contact center companies do, like Aspect. The challenge is, what we call the omni-channel challenge. So customers increasingly jump from channel to channel. They might start using a mobile app. The next day they tweet in. 3 days later they call in, right? Have you ever experienced a company that provided some kind of continuity across the channels where, when you call in, they remember, oh, hey, I saw you logged into our mobile app yesterday trying to do this. You didn't complete that. Would you like to do that now? Never. I haven't experienced that ever. The technology to do that is there, but it takes such a long time, and it's sometimes frustrating for if you work in this industry, for enterprises to make that change. If you're in a big organization, a big company, change is always a hard thing.
Isn't that because of a different reason, that customer service is typically a cost center?
Let's talk about that. Cost. Okay, he's bringing up cost. Contact centers have traditionally been thought of as cost centers, not profit or revenue centers, right? I think that's changing as well. Because what you need to realize is that an old metric in the call center was, and unfortunately one still used today, is first call resolution. So what you're essentially trying to say there is, we take every effort so that you never contact us again. We just don't want to talk to you. See the problem of that in today's world? We're all connected. We're all talking 24 hours. Why shouldn't it be in the company's interest to talk to their customers the same way? It shouldn't be about first call resolution. It should be about continuous engagement. So, still though, at the end of the day, you need to pay those people that are in the contact center, answer calls, take phone calls, whatever. That is still your most expensive resource, but there's also this aspect of telephony infrastructure. And WebRTC can help there. And I'll get to that. But you might be thinking, to your point, if WebRTC makes it easier to connect to an agent, how is that a good thing? Remember, we're on the agent company side of perspective now. Here's some value propositions of WebRTC in the contact center. And I know we're not looking at code. I hope you're still with me here. I know this is a developer meeting, but you can reduce costs. If a company offers a toll-free number for you to dial, they pay for that number. They pay for the minutes that you cause them and call them and talk to them. WebRTC means that the calls originate from the browser. So we're talking internet bandwidth versus public switch telephone network or plain old telephony system, POTS. That's good. It's cheaper. So the more you can deflect calls from the PSTN or from the POTS onto internet telephony and voice over IP, the better for you. And also, the more convenient for your customer. You can decrease the average handling time. Average handling time, AHT, is another one of those metrics. How long does it take an average to resolve a customer question? That's how sometimes agents are monitored by and measured by. If that's the only measure you apply, then guess what your agents do? They're going to try to get rid of that caller, and that's not going to leave a good customer impression, customer experience. But the point is that you can decrease average handling time because the people that contact you, they are already in a very rich environment. They're either on your website, which means they're in front of a full-blown computer, or they're using a mobile app, which also means they're in front of a full-blown computer, namely the smartphone. And that means that they can do stuff, and you can track what they do, and then you can submit that information, that context, over to the agent that needs to take that contact, right? If you can do that, you can shorten the time it takes to ask you about, why are you calling? What are you talking to us about today? Right? So that pre-qualification. Because you can pre-qualify, guess what an IVR does, these dreaded computer voices? They pre-qualify you to route you to the right agent. They ask you those questions not to torture you, sometimes they might, but they do that for a reason. They want to get you to the right person. With WebRTC, you can do that pre-qualification on the website, and then, that's what Amazon does. Go to Amazon.com. They don't list their phone number. If you want to get help, you can get help very quickly. But you first have to answer a couple of questions. So they take you through some questions, some pre-qualification questions on the website, and when they think they know enough about you, then they give you a call option or a callback option where you get called and you leave your number. That's the way to do it. Because then you can bypass the IVR and you connect right to the agent you want to connect that person to. So 100% pre-qualified contacts. What does my WebRTC watch say? 7:30, okay. Improve the customer experience. If you can get rid of IVR, we all hate IVR, then that's good. If you can make it quicker for people to get to the right person to help them, that's good. If you can make it easier versus, oh, my phone is downstairs, I'm in front of my laptop in my office, I no longer have to run downstairs to grab the phone, I can just click in the browser and talk through the browser with a person without first having to download a plugin. That's the key of WebRTC, right? I mean, I can call today. Thankfully, I recently found out that Google not only now shows the phone number of businesses, but they make it clickable, and you're getting redirected to Hangouts. And Hangouts, I think, are they now WebRTC based? Google Hangouts? On Chrome they are, right? So no plugin, just click, start talking to the business, right? Otherwise, you might need to download a plugin first. And if you call internationally, it subtracts from your account. Otherwise, it's free. That's great. And this improves also the experience for the people working in the call center because WebRTC is about HD audio, high-def wideband audio. WebRTC is about HD video. The more convenient you make it for the agents to listen to the customers, the easier it is to understand through HD, the better for them. And that's another big factor in the contact center. So this is a win-win, right? Yes. Essentially it is. This is why it's so huge for us in the contact center business. And what's next? I think we got to resolve a couple usability issues with the browsers themselves. Let me explain a little thing that annoys me. I don't know if I think it's in Firefox when you have a website and you want to enable WebRTC there, you might decide to do a pop-up window, which might not take the full width and size of your screen. So you just have a little pop-up window that floats there. And if that's the one that evokes the Get User Media API, then it will pop up a little bar that says, this website tries to get access to your camera microphone. If you have a small window, it'll cut off that message. Now, if you're not a WebRTC developer, you don't even see that bar popping up. And guess what happens? The whole connection doesn't even get established because the customer in this case doesn't get notified of, oh, there's something I need to click. Oh, allow microphone and camera. It makes sense. But hey, I missed it. That's a usability issue in the browser that we need to solve. Not we, but them. But also, we need to get the creative people on board. Who here develops websites? About 50%, 60%. Who here designs websites or mobile apps? 10%. So I think this has been with the techies long enough. This needs to get out there with the creative people. We need creative solutions. We need to solve the UI. How do you notify someone? Let's say you put them on hold. You don't always have someone right now, right away in the call center to connect to. You might have to put the customer on hold. What do you do with that customer? They might go away and browse in a different tab. How do you notify them of, hey, the agent is now there, right? Things like that. Also, marketing. It's not only about contact center, it's also about marketing. Imagine what a marketer could do with this technology if he was even aware that it existed. I talked to a company the other day, an enterprise, big car maker in the US, actually a German car maker. And they are doing a campaign right. I talked to the marketing people. It's a rare thing for me to do. It's very enlightening. They're very easily excitable, by the way, especially through technology. But it showed me that we need to talk to these people more and show them what's possible. Not only you guys, but you guys too. So what they were doing is they had a search engine optimization campaign. So when you Googled their brand name plus a city, there was an ad coming up. If you clicked it, it would find, it would find local dealerships. So they had a landing page, and then they would list local dealership. It was nicely designed, right? Probably came from a marketing agency. But guess what they did? They list the phone number. And then they put you in the same trap again. Now you need to go away, leave the website, pull up your phone, dial in, right, that type of stuff. So I told them, you know what? There's technology out there that can make people actually click that number and talk through the browser. Their jaws were dropping. Okay, so get it out there. Make it easy to evaluate the technology. Cloud is the answer there. Okay, and then evangelize. I think that's what we're doing here. I'm probably down to like 10 seconds. So with that, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the night.